Alright YouTube, thank you for joining me. We are going to, hopefully, in this video, replace the front and rear sprockets on this 2009 Yamaha V-Star 250. You can see we have here our instructions, so we're not completely winging it. But anyway, the instructions say that first we have to take off the rear shock and then take off the chain. Then we'll go on to replacing the sprockets, replacing the chain, and then putting it all back together. Hopefully this will go pretty easily. Okay, well, I just tried changing a few things, seeing what would come off first. And I'm guessing probably the best way to attack this is going to be to take off the gear selector there. I'm doing that because until that's done, this part here won't come off until I get that part off. There's a screw back there holding this part on. Okay. And then of course once we take that off, we can take off our cover there, and then our chain guard. Maybe before taking off the chain guard, we'll take off the shock absorber. Okay, you can see here, finally got that front cover off. Let me zoom in on this. I'm using a towel because my fingers are all now pretty funky. There's a lot of nasty gooiness in there. Alright, so here you can see we've got that screw right there. Oops, there goes my towel. That screw right there is exposed. That's a 10mm and that's a 19mm. So we'll take those off and hopefully take that plate off right there. Okay, we're coming right along. This is coming a lot easier than I'd hoped. The rear shock just slides right off. You undo that screw right there. You undo that one. I loosened that one just to be on the safe side, but it slips right off. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take that rear wheel off. So while I've got it on the ground, I'm going to loosen everything up. Got a diagram of it around here somewhere. Let's see if we can get a good picture of this. Alright, you can see what needs to be done there. We've got to take out that screw, this adjuster that adjusts the tension on the chain. You can see that part comes right off, and then we're going to have to pull out the pin that holds it in place. And I'm hoping I don't have to mess with any of this right here because I'm really not looking forward to that. Alright, here we go. Okay, here we are on the other side of the motorcycle. Now, according to the instructions, I need to remove the chain tensioner, which controls this part right here. I'm going to have to remove this rear brake tensioner and undo it from down here. Now, I'm hoping that's 10, but it's probably 12mm along with this one. So, one more thing to add to your the tools you're going to need is a 12mm wrench. Now I have a breaker bar for this guy and the other side, which is 7/8. Why it's imperial instead of metric, I don't know. Might be, but this is what I have on hand. Alright. Okay, here we go. So we've taken off the rear brake tensioner, that aluminum bar there. I've taken off that nut there. You can see the tensioner parts for that side are over there. Alright, so we're here. As soon as I loosened that rear axle nut enough, the tire just sort of fell, and you can see how slack the chain is now. And so now I can take the chain right off. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to take the axle out, hopefully. Okay, you can see I've got a hard rubber mallet there. Hopefully that's going to help me take this tire out. Alright, so we're going to knock this part out while we still have a little pressure on the tire. There you go. Comes right out. Now, watch out for this part right here, because it just fell out of the back. It's a spacer. Shouldn't be too big of a problem taking it out. I will tell you that the tire is sort of sandwiched. So, hopefully we can keep it from falling apart. We jack this up a little bit and get this tire out of the way. So we still got our spacers. We've got our axle. This spacer goes right here. Don't want to lose it. What I am worried about is the brakes in there just sandwiched on. I guess the pressure of the axle and the spacer keep it in place. I don't want to turn it over and have everything fall out because I have no idea where it goes. I mean, I have diagrams, so I can probably put it back together. But that's a headache I hope to avoid. Alright, now we're going to remove those nuts, or bolts rather, from the front sprocket, and because it's just not giving me enough room to move that chain. So hopefully this will be a pretty easy operation. And then we can change up that 16 tooth standard sprocket with this 17 tooth aftermarket from JT Sprockets, I guess it's called. Anyway, what I'm hoping to do with this is give up some of the torque for maybe not so much a top end, but at least to make the first and second gears a little more usable. I have taken off successfully the front sprocket. See the sprocket, well, the parts down there, that little collar on there holds the sprocket in place, and those two little bolts hold that on. Let me grab the sprocket real quick and we'll take a look at her. Here's the replacement. As you can see, it's a little bigger. 14 bucks, I think. Really not that bad. I think all your money's going to be in labor. This really isn't that hard. I've been at this for, I don't know, about 45 minutes, an hour maybe. I'm learning as I go, so I'm not really keeping track of time. For now, this is just an evening after I've put the kids to bed, and we'll see if I can put this thing back together before I have to ride off to work in the morning. If you want, we'll do a close-up here of me putting this thing on right there, just so you can see how it's done. Should not be terribly difficult. I'm going to use this part right here that has all our hieroglyphics on it. And hopefully this thing will slide in pretty easily. Yep, just like that. And our collar goes on here. Here goes our collar. You can see that it's sort of keyed a little differently. The sprocket will move forward. This is the collar. And you can see these lugs here. They have opposite numbers on the collar, and I'm guessing just from pressure, the lugs have impressed themselves on the metal. So, put this guy in here.
Come on. There we go. Now the whole world knows that I cannot put in a doggone bolt. That's alright.
it's on there. I'm going to tighten it down now. Standard 12mm wrench. So after we tighten this up, we'll change out the rear sprocket, and then we'll see about putting the wheel back on, and then the chain on before we tighten things up.